Hey guys, welcome to another live stream. Sorry about the last minute time change. I don't know if you all saw I tried to do one of those like little shorts videos just to let you guys know that I had to change the time because I didn't know how else to do it other than changing the time, but I didn't know how to notify you guys that I was changing the time. So I don't know if you guys get notified of that stuff. So, if you guys saw the video or if you were notified about that short video, I don't know how that works. But anyway, I had a business thing I had to take care of that kind of popped up last minute. Um, you guys don't know, so I guess I'll let you know. I also run a event planning small business, so I had a person message me about doing a quick phone consultation because she had time at 12 o'clock. So that is why I had to change the time last minute. Like she literally asked me if we could do the phone call at 12, like 3 minutes before 12. Um, so that's what was going on as far as why I had to quick change the time right there when it was getting ready to start. Okay, Tina. So I think you got a notification, but you couldn't open it because I didn't realize that when I went live in shorts, I had to go back into my YouTube studio and make it public. I thought go live, it automatically goes public. So that was a mistake on my part because I don't publish shorts videos very often. But it's cool that I'm able to do that. So now that I know that I can do that and I know how to make sure that everybody could get it. Hopefully that won't happen next time, but hopefully I won't have to make a last minute time change like this. Like if I had to change the time, I'm hoping I would at least have more notice than 3 minutes next time. Um, so anyway, that's what was going on. But we all still need to get in today, so I didn't want to cancel it altogether. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter live stream today, just because I had to start an hour later. So yesterday the live stream was like about 2 hours, and today I'm going to be trying to cap it at like an hour and 20 minutes because again, my kids get home a little after 2, and I like to wrap this up before they get home just so I'm not interrupted and I can still focus. So, oh no, Lex. I didn't realize you lived in a different time zone. That's why I put ST in the um what is it? The picture. What's the picture called? Cover image or whatever it's called. I put EST for Eastern Standard Time. So I didn't realize you were in a different time zone, but that would be confusing because I'm telling you that it's supposed to start at 12 o'clock, but that's Eastern Standard Time. But then I pushed it back to 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 12 o'clock your time. So I'm sorry about the confusion. So just so you know, apparently I an hour you. So for future reference, I am normally on at 12 o'clock. So that would be 11 o'clock your time, it sounds like. So let me know what you guys are working on today, what your goal is. I'm going to be doing the same thing I have been doing since I started in April, which is trying to finish this book that I need to finish because I'm supposed to be publishing it next month, like the end of next month. Anyway, um, so uh, that's going on with me. I did have a question for you guys, which is, where is your word count currently at? I don't know if you guys are participating in Camp NaNoWriMo. It doesn't matter if you are or not. I mean, because I have a feeling most writers keep track of their word count in their and if you don't, your document probably automatically does that for you. So I know Google Docs does that for me. So I was just curious to see where everybody's word counts are right now. I am currently at 18,100 words. So not too shabby. That's like a good novella length at this point. So let me know in the comments. Um, and yeah, so that's going on with me today. It's warmer today weather-wise, but it doesn't look so pretty out. It was much prettier out yesterday. Ah, I hate Sprinter. It's like a tease. It's like it's teasing you. Summer's coming. Spring's not here. You gotta wait. Anyway, Lex says, "What are you working on today?" Oh, okay. So you're in Central Time. Okay, that makes sense with the hour difference then. I used to live in Central Time when I lived in Tennessee. This was a long time ago though, when I was still young, and I'm not so young anymore. I moved there when me and my husband first got married because he was in the military. So I was stationed with my husband for a year and a half, I think, something like that. And that was back in like 2011, 2012. So it's been a while. But I remember the time difference was because me calling back home to Pennsylvania, it was thankfully it was only an hour because I don't know how people do it when they're halfway around the world and they're like it's nighttime where they are and it's daytime where the people are. And thank God I didn't have that problem. I had that problem when my husband deployed when he was in Afghanistan. He used to be calling me. I think it was normally like night for him. So it was like after he was done whatever his duties were for the day. And then he'd call me and it'd be like 10 o'clock at night when he called me. Not 10 o'clock at night, it'd be like 10 o'clock in the morning. Um, and I'd be like, I'm kind of in the middle of something, but I guess I got to drop it because you could call me now. Tina says, I'm working on book 2 of my Regency series. Ooh, Regency. Um, that courtesan Constantinople book you were telling us about yesterday. I was at the book 1 that the title that whatever it was, Constantinople, I think it was courtesan. Those are the 2 words I'm remembering right now. Was that book 1 in the series, or is that the title of this book now, book 2? She got all the writer business stuff done yesterday. Current word count is 13,295 words. Awesome. Lex says, I'm working on the character description of another work. I've had it in my brain. Hopefully I can finish one character on this sprint. Okay, so you're working on character profiles right now. See, that's the thing. I didn't do that this time around. I usually do. I usually do character profiles. And I didn't this time. I think it's because I was with most of these characters for a few, like my main female character, I've had a character profile on her for a few books now. So, um, that's probably why I didn't. For the main male character, I didn't do a character profile, although I think he had a very short one because he was like a very um like small side character in the previous book. So I think when I wrote the last book, I had like a little profile for him in there too. So I had an idea of his description before I started writing this book. So I think that's why I was any this current draft because I did do that before I started the last draft of this book. Tina says I have steampunk. The court. Oh, okay. So that's a whole different series. Okay. I'm sorry. I got confused. Um, my Regency book 1 is The Widow's Spy. It is going to be published. Oh, okay. So that one's not published yet. Okay. Is the steampunk one published? If it is, leave a link if you have a link in the description because I don't remember if you left a link yesterday, but I remember I if you didn't click on it and I wanted to. So leave a link. Um, okay, so it sounds like Tina's a good chunk in 13,000. I'm 18,000, but keep in mind those not all those words were written in April. So don't be thinking I'm like flying through these words because I'm certainly not. I think I started April with like 8,000 words or something like that. Um so anyway. All right. So, now that we got some stuff out of the way, you guys know what happened, cut up on word count and all that good stuff. Let's get some writing done because I know I need it. Sounds like you guys are up for it. So, where'd my phone go? There it is. 20 minutes on the clock. For those of you who are here for the first time, I use my phone as my timer because StreamYard doesn't like when I use YouTube as a timer and share the screen. They just don't like it. So I guess I won't do that. So 20 minutes. 20 minutes on. Ready, set, and write. Okay, guys, that is the end of the first sprint. Let me know how you did and what you were working on and all that good stuff. Let me see what my word count. I have a quick question for this break. Let me see. Um, I think Tina might have already mentioned it, but what genre is your current work in progress? And able to write this current genre, what genre would you be writing instead? Let me see. Word count, word count, word count. I think I did okay. My average is about 200. 237. So I'm right around my average. I have a hard time. I don't know why, but I have a hard time getting over that hump of 200. Get past the 200s in my in my sprints. I don't know why. I haven't worked up to that level yet, I guess. Or it's just the perfectionist or the inner editor in me that won't allow me to go faster. However, you know, I also I'm gonna put a little bit of blame on my computer right now because my computer is like so freaking glitchy when I'm trying to type. I don't know if it's because I'm trying to stream and type at the same time or what it is, but it's really frustrating. Like I need to spend time going back and fixing mistakes because of how much my computer, my Google Docs is glitching while I'm trying to write. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm streaming. I don't know if it's because I'm sharing that screen in that moment. I don't know what it is, but it's a little annoying. I have a feeling I would be faster if my computer would be cooperating. But anyway, enough about my problems. Um, let me know how many words you got. Now, as far as the question goes for me, paranormal romance. If you want to get into subgenres, I'm currently writing a dystopian shifter romance is the sub genre, I guess. If I wasn't writing, we're gonna just do umbrella paranormal romance. If I wasn't writing paranormal romance, I would most likely be writing either historical or fantasy romance, most likely. Those would be my other two if we're allowed to still pick romance, because romance has like 5,000 genres. So if I'm allowed to still pick a romance, I would probably pick historical or fantasy. We can't pick our main genre at all, which means romance in general, and I can't write romance, which would be so sad. Um, I might try my hand. I would have considered trying my hand at like a political thriller, maybe. Although I feel like I don't have enough knowledge for that, but that's another area that I at least I'm interested in reading. Like I read it, I'm interested in it. If I'm not allowed to put any romance in it at all, which would be a real struggle for me, let me say. uh Okay, Lex A says I write paranormal romance. I would write fantasy without romantic elements. See, I think it's hard for me to even imagine writing a fantasy without romantic elements. It's hard for me to imagine writing anything without romantic elements, I think is my problem. So, to be fair, you are allowed to write any genre with romantic elements, and it's technically not a romance. It's only a romance if the romance is the main part of the story and the others around that relationship. However, if the main part of the story is the action plot or whatever the plot is and the romance is just kind of happening during that plot, then it's not a romance technically. That's just what I've heard. That's what I've heard. That's what I'm going with. Mine is a paranormal romance because I guarantee you, if you took out, it's supposed to be if you could take out all of the romance in story, then it's not a romance. If you take out all the romance and you're left with barely any story at all, then it's a romance. So, so yeah, I think that's why I went with political thriller because that's the only one I could think of that I'd try writing without trying to add a romance into it, maybe. Um, anyway, where was I? Up here. Okay. Tina was updating her outline to get through the slog of the middle. Yeah, the murky middle is always fun. See, sometimes I struggle with the middle, sometimes I don't. There was the one book I wrote, which is the last book I wrote, Tempted, which is Tempted by Twilight, which is available, by the way, if you want to check it out. Um, I'll leave the link if you want it. Uh, that one, I remember I didn't struggle with the middle as much for that one. That one I struggled more with the end than I did the middle, and I'm not really sure why. That's just what happened because I knew like it was like a fun process because of my main female character's struggles. It was fun kind of getting to see her interact in that element for the first time and then his reactions to her reactions, and it was just kind of a good old time. And then it was like I got to wrap this up in like an exciting way. How am I doing that? Like it's been a blast, but it needs to come to an end eventually. Tina says I might go write the end of the book when we get them done. Okay, so you're thinking about skipping ahead, obviously. That would be hard. See, that's my problem with skipping ahead, like actually writing scenes. I do it sometimes because I just did it yesterday, but then I worry that if I do that, what if as I'm writing the middle, now all of a sudden the scene that I already wrote doesn't work? I mean, I guess that's just the risk of jumping ahead. Sometimes it works out great and sometimes not. So, I mean, I guess they say as long as it's if it's motivating you to keep writing, then you should do it. Pretty much what they I don't know who I'm referring to when I say they, just other writers in general that I've listened to. Um, so I mean, I guess we all do whatever we need to do to keep our butts in the chair, I think is what I'm trying to say. Tina says if I wasn't writing historical romance, your Regency romance, which by the way I'm super interested in, because I like historical romance. Especially Regency era. I love Jane Austen. Um, well, I like Jane Austen, but I like Jane Austen a little, like Pride and Prejudice is my favorite just because I like Elizabeth Bennet's attitude. So, I'd be working on a contemporary short story just so I could be done. Tina says, I do write all the romance, the sci-fi, paranormal, steampunk, contemporary, and now historical. Okay, so this is the first time you're writing a historical romance series? That sounds fun. See, I'd like to write that. I feel like I need to do a lot of research. And I think that's why I prefer to just make my own world. Because that's more fun than research. I just get to make it all up. Tina says, I think if it wasn't romance, I might write cozy mysteries. Ooh. See, I don't, I have a hard time with mysteries, I guess. Like the who done it thing. I like the idea of it. I just don't like having I think it's because I'm super character driven. Like my stories, I wrote romance, so of course they're character driven. Like what am I talking about right now? So it's hard for me to because I know mysteries in general are like very plot driven because they're a mystery. Like that's the whole point of the genre is the plot of it. I'm not saying there aren't some good mysteries out there that are focused on a character. I'm just saying they're not focused on the characters as much as I would like, I guess. Um, Lex says I'm going to try to finish a brief description of life before stories beginning because I got through my character questionnaire. Lightweight. Oh, is this the title of this of what you're working on? Life before stories beginning? Is that the title? So that's always a good idea to try and write out a description. It gets your brain in the right space for what is this story going to be about? Like just the general idea of what it is you want to write about. Lex Lex says I can't skip ahead for the same right for the yeah, I have the same problem because I don't like the idea of wasting words. And I especially don't like the idea of wasting words after writing an entire 50 to 60,000 first draft and then essentially pitching it and starting over. Although I haven't pitched it, it's still saved on my computer. Why do I feel like I'm super glitchy right now? Computer is I'm just not happy with my computer. I need a new computer or a new webcam or something. I need something. I'm gonna have to do some research because if I want to keep doing the live streams and I don't want to be super glitchy in every live stream. So I need to be doing something, getting something, changing something. I don't know. Tina says my favorite Jane Austen is Persuasion, then Sense and Sensibility, then Pride and Prejudice. Okay. See, one that I haven't read yet. I liked Sense and Sensibility too, but I liked Pride and Prejudice better just because of Elizabeth Bennet is a little more of a rebellious, snarky character. Where you could tell like she's almost like against the whole idea of marriage and the ideals of her society, and she's like, this is just stupid. Whereas in Sense and Sensibility, it wasn't like they were rebelling against it. They were just not in the best position, and they got you know the I cannot think of their names right now, but the younger sister kind of got duped because she was just such a romantic and so ready to get married that she got duped basically. And the older sister, I don't know why I cannot think of names right now, um, wasn't against the idea of marriage. She just wasn't like focused on it. And she was like too reserved to, well, that's the whole point. It's the older sister and the younger sister are like total opposites. So Tina says, when I love stream, oh, I'm sorry. When I live stream, I turn off everything else connected to my router. That seems to help. Oh, that is a brilliant idea, which is that makes sense. Now that would just be such a process in my house. I have like, oh, you have no idea. I have like a phone, two tablets, a Switch, two Xboxes, a wireless cable box. Oh, there's just so much that I need to turn off. There's just so much. So I might have to if it continues to be a problem. I will and just well, except for the cable box, because if I turn the cable box, my mom will have a freaking conniption fit. So that would be the one thing that I'd leave on because it's hers and I don't want to touch it. So, by the way, no, I do not live with my mom. My mom lives with me. So putting that out there. And by the way, Lex, I understand if you live with your mom because you're young. It's okay. um, Tina says my favorite Regency authors are Grace Calloway, Tessa Dare, and Kathy Maxwell. I should write those down. I'm always looking for new authors to add to my endless pile of authors that I'd like to try out or at least look up. Okay, Tessa there and Kathy. Okay, guys. Oh, okay, yeah. It sounds like you have a lot on your router too, so Like I'll have to try a lot. That's okay if they're spicy. I'm okay with some spice. I just don't want the spice to be the entire story. Like I'm not into erotica, you know what I mean? Like I need more of a story than that. But I'm okay with a little heat level. That's fine. Um, I'm a mother of two. I know how it works. So with that happy thought, let's get another writing sprint in because I told you guys that I needed to make sure that I kept this under control. And I only have like 30 minutes left, so I don't know how we're gonna do this. We might have to cut that third sprint a little short. So, um, or skip it if we end up being too chatty. So let's get our next sprint in. Do you know what? Let me just pop down in the comments quick. Do you guys want to do the 20-minute sprint and then because we would be coming back right after 2 o'clock and then just wrap it up? Or do you want to do a 30-minute sprint and then wrap it up? Because that I'd have just enough time to get a 30-minute sprint in. So let me know in the comments if you want a 20-minute sprint or I think this is gonna have to be our last sprint just because I started an hour late and I'm sorry. So pop down in the comments what you want to do, 20-minute or 30-minute or 25-minute. I don't care. Just let me know. I'm open to all of them. Um, I want to make sure that we're getting writing in because it's a big reason why I do these live streams is because not only is it helping me get more words in, it's hopefully helping you guys get more words in. And we're not going to get more words in if we're not actually spending time writing. We're spending all of our time doing this. I'm not saying I don't love this part because I do, because I need me some writer talk once in a while, because Lord knows I don't have any of it in my real life. But anyway, let me know what you want to do, what you want to do, and we'll do that. Oh, okay. All right. Look at that. You guys are on top of it. 25 minutes sounds perfect. Love it. There we go. Let's change it. There we go. Okay. 25 on the clock. Look at that. 25 minutes. All right. Let's write. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, guys, that is the end of the last sprint. Let me know how you did, what you were working on, all that good stuff. I think I did pretty good this time. I do say so myself. Um, hopefully I'm not overdoing it. I think I did pretty good. Watch, I got like 180 words. 316. I finally crossed the 300 word mark in a sprint. And I am up to 18,688 words now. So I can't math. So I have no idea how much that is in total. I cannot math at all. Can I figure it out? Who can figure it out for me? There we go. How many did I write? So I wrote 553 words in those 2 sprints. So not bad, not bad. Oh, I could take that down. Hold on. There we go. Where? No. Oh. StreamYard. Okay, Tina got 386 words. Awesome. I'm almost caught up to you, Tina. Almost. Not that this is a competition or anything. um Lex says I did pretty bad. Okay. I don't know what your definition is. Were you going for drafting? Were you still in your character description? Were you in thinking mode? I mean, you do need to have some thinking time. It's okay if you did not put any words on the page as long as you were thinking about your story. That counts. Just saying. Like you need to have some thought time before you can put it on a page. Like it's okay. Okay, and then Lex asks, can a writer be a good writer? I'm gonna say a writer can be a good storyteller without reading. However, it's gonna take a lot, and I mean a lot of editing, because if you don't read, you kind of don't get used to that flow of words on words on a page that readers are familiar with. So you're not going to be used to how how paragraphs are set up, how dialogue works, how there's a lot of elements that go into a story, a written story, that doesn't have to go into other types of storytelling like TV and movies and oral storytelling and things like that. So that's why screenplay writing is extremely different from novel writing, because it's a different way to tell a story. There are elements that you need in a novel that you don't need in a screenplay. You know what I mean? So it's kind of going to be harder for you to nail down your writing voice if you don't read any examples first, is what I'm going to say about that. I'm not saying you can't be a writer. Of course you can. It's just you're going to need a very good editor because of that. Not saying people who do read a lot don't need an editor. Your editor is just going to have a little more work on their hands, I think, kind of polishing your story. Okay. Tina said, I wrote that towards the end of the book. Oh, the 386 words, you mean? Oh, okay. In the lovers reunite beat. Oh, you're near the end. Did you skip ahead? You were talking earlier about skipping ahead. Tina says it's hard to understand genres if you don't read them. That's very true. If you're writing a certain genre, you're not going to be familiar with the different kinds of tropes that go on and this different kind of story beats that happen in a certain genre. So like if you're writing paranormal romance, those story beats and those tropes are very different from historical romance. It's very different from um like Dan Brown mysteries and like Da Vinci Code stuff. You know what I mean? Like the beats and the elements aren't the same. So if you don't read anything in the genre that you're trying to write, it's going to be hard for you to structure your story in a way that readers are going to recognize what it is you're writing. Tina says there's an exception, which is literary fiction, poetry, and nonfiction. Really true. However, even poetry usually has a structure to it. It's just poetry is more freeform, and there's a lot of different kinds of poetry, and most people that read poetry aren't always familiar with the different like beats that are in a type of poetry. Like there was one where it's like syllables, like you need a certain number of syllables in like the first, third, and lines compared to even lines and things like that. And nonfiction, obviously. Lex says, I think even my bad. I just sat in front of the screen and wrote a bit and did my hair. Not too bad, but not what I was going for. That's okay. Like I said, probably if you were doing your hair, you were probably still kind of in thought mode. So, like, it's okay to multitask. Like, I had to do it all the time. What do you think I do when I'm doing dishes? It's just I'm doing dishes while I'm doing it. It's all good. That is the trademark of a writer, is when you're doing other things, but you're still thinking about your story. Okay, Tina says, although if you aren't a big reader, pick up Save the Cat Writes a Novel. Oh. Yes, you should. Or Romancing the Beat. I have that one too. Although I do not have it in paperback, I have that one on my e-reader, but I have both of those. And I also have On Writing Romance. Very helpful. And I also have 90 Days to Your Novel. I have yet to do that. I have tried to do this book like 3 times, and I have yet to finish a novel in 90 days. Maybe this will be the time. Not really, because I started this in November, so we're already past the 90-day mark. Maybe next time. I also have First 5 Pages, The Idiot's Guide to Creative Writing. This one I didn't find as helpful because it goes over all of the different kinds of creative writing. It's not just strictly about writing fiction. So that was a little less helpful. However, it is a very, very, very old version. So that too. This is a really good one when you're in the editing phase, the first 5 pages. This one obviously is really good if you're still in the drafting, outlining phase, or brainstorming phase even, because it even helps you with brainstorming. So Lex, let you know, might want to try this. Okay, and then if you're a romance writer, I actually did like Romancing the Beat a little better than this one, but I did like this one because she goes over like a lot of different subgenres of romance. So it was like she goes into paranormal romance, she goes into historical romance, she goes into like all those different areas. And then of course Save the Cat. I mean, it's Save the Cat Writes a Novel. You know what I mean? So let me see. Hold on. Oh, Tina has you have the 90 days to your novel too. Um I did, I don't know if you guys, I think you guys are new on my channel, but I have a whole video series on me attempting attempting to do the 90 days to your novel, and I actually like vlogged it, and it was a thing, and, and it's on my channel if you're interested. Just letting you know. Um, oh, hold on. Let me see if I can grab it because I need to get better. I really, really need better at put that stuff in the of my video. I really need to do that because that would be so much easier than me hunting somebody asks me. Maybe next time. I say that like every time. I'm so good at this marketing thing. Can you tell? Okay. Give me 1 second. Do you guys have any other writing books on your shelves? Let me know because I'm always looking for more. That's just what I currently have. If actually I have more on my I'll have to go over the ones I have in ebook format because there's many more. Although a lot of the ones in ebook format are on marketing, not um or writing or I think I have one other one that's in paperback that's on writing. It's publishing. I think it's Successful Self-Publishing or something like that by Joanna Penn. That's another one that I have. If you're not a self-publisher, it's not going to be as helpful, obviously. If you're thinking about self-publishing and you haven't actually done it at all yet, then I find it extremely helpful. There is a lot of information in that little book. So if you're thinking, I recommend self-publishing or successful self-publishing authors or something like that by Joanna Penn. I know it's by Joanna Penn. I'll try and track it down and show you guys in a minute. As soon as I grab this link. Copy. Okay. All right. I think I got it. This is going to be the link to my free ebook. We might as well start with that one. So if you guys didn't already grab it, you can grab it. It's paranormal romance. It's a dystopian vampire shifters type romance. It's a full length prequel to my Forbidden Fate series, and I am currently writing book 2 in that series. So book 1 is already up, and if you get that free book, if you download the free book, at the back of that book is a link to the next book. So amazing story generator, the emotional thesaurus. Georgette hires Regency World and the romance writer's phrase book. Ooh, I want like I noticed that I definitely use romance writing because I write romance. So I use those books more, I think. Um I wish I knew where I put that. I think it might be downstairs. That self-publishing for authors. Now I'm gonna Google it because it's annoying me and I want to know what it's called. Publishing. Okay. It is called. Here we go. Successful Self-Publishing by Joanna Penn. That is what it's called. And this is what it looks like. Okay. So, Tina, I don't know how helpful that's going to be for you because it sounds like you're traditionally published. And Lex, I don't know if you're published at all because I know you're still pretty young. So that book would kind of let you in on the whole self-publishing side of it if that's something you're considering. I definitely recommend it if you're brand new to self-publishing. I got it when I had already been a book or two book in, so it wasn't new information to me, but I still found it helpful that it was all in one like very convenient place. I will say that's nice that I don't have to go hunting down 5,000 different websites for the information I want. Okay, guys, got this up real quick because literally my kid's bus is here. Like they're here, so I gotta go. And I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out with me today. And I will be back on Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lex, that's 11 a.m. your time. And I will see everybody on Monday. Okay, bye, guys.